Hi there, folks, and welcome to the What Solutions for this week's The Daily Rigour, issue number 275. So, from the world of business, Sainsbury's raises pay to £10 an hour. So, approximately how much extra will an employee on a 30-hour a week contract receive per week, first of all? So, they used to get £9.50, it's going to be increased to £10, so that's an extra 50 pence per hour. And as a 30-hour contract, so it's going to be 30 lots of 50 pences. So per week, that's an extra £15. So approximately per month, well, we can say roughly there's four weeks in a month. So that's going to be four lots of 15, which is going to be an extra £60 a month. And per year, there are 12 months in a year, so that's going to be 12 lots of 60, which is an extra £720 a year, not to be sniffed at. Well done, Sainsbury's. So hopefully many other employers will follow suit. Okay, so on to our environment story, and I quite like this one. This is quite interesting. So they are going to have, in terms of milk in Morrison's, use by dates are going to be scrapped and replaced with best before dates. So milk typically lasts for 2 to 3 days past this date, and they're recommending to sniff the milk, smell the milk to see if it seems good enough still to drink. I'm not sure how I feel about that. So milk on the 20th of January, best before, will generally last 2 to 3 days past this date. So let's take the top end of that estimate and go to the 23rd of January. So the 25th of January is 2 days after that. So I would say no, it's unlikely that the milk will pass this sniff test. So, but the reason for all of this is because milk is the third most wasted food product in the UK. Can you guess what the top two are? So the top one is actually potatoes, and the second one is actually bread. Okay, so on to technology. Now, we love a good list on Rigour Maths at the Daily Rigour. So this is now the top 10 highest paid YouTube stars for 2021. Mr. Beast winning, of course, coming out on top there. So for number 2, we've got 5 times 2, which is 10, which is J. 8 times 2, which is 16, which is P. So can you guess the YouTube artist here? Well, that's Jake Paul, who is, of course, the boxer and vlogger. For number 3, minus 7 add 20 is 13, which will be M. So then we've got Markiplier, I can't even say it, and he is apparently a game creator. So number 4, 9 times 2 is 18, so R. 1 squared is 1, so A. And 3 times 4, which is 12, so L. So that one there is going to be Rhett and Link, and they are hosts of Good Mythical Morning, a daily podcast. Number 5, 3 times 7 is 21, so U, and that's Unspeakable, that's a Minecraft player. 7 take away negative 7 is 14, so that's going to be N. So then we've got Nastya, and she's a toy unboxer, if I'm led to believe what is correct. So then we've got 18, which is R, and 11, which is K. So that's then going to be Ryan Kaji, who is a toy reviewer. I think he was one of the original kind of highest YouTube earners. So number 8, we've got 4, which is D, and 16, which is P. So that's Dude Perfect, who are comedy pranksters. So number 9, we've got 12, which is L, and 16, which is P again. So this is Logan Paul, brother of Jake, also a boxer and vlogger. So number 10, 64 divided by 4, which is 16. We've had that a few times, that's P. 1 squared is 1, which is A. So for this one, I'm afraid we've had to do a wee bit of editing here because we don't like any bad language at the Daily Rigour. It's Preston A asterisk 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 meant, although I have actually googled it and it is actually his proper name. Now, he is a Minecraft player. Well done if you managed to get a few of them right, guys. So on to our UK story. New game-changing camera caught 15,000 drivers using their phones. Shocking. Suggesting 1 in 200 drivers use their phone when driving in a motorway. What's this figure as a percentage? Well, as a fraction, it's 1 out of 200. And what we can do is we can then make sure that we get 100 on the bottom of our fraction and at the top. And that's probably the easiest way to get it as a percentage. So we divide 200 by 2 to get 100. And if we divide 1 by 2, that'll give us 0.5. So 1 out of 200 is 0.5 out of 100, and 0.5 out of 100 is 0.5%. I actually think that's quite high. And this next part's interesting. If we're looking at our phone for 2 seconds while travelling at 70 miles an hour in the motorway, how many metres will we roughly travel during this time? So distance, of course, is speed times time. The speed is 70, but of course the time has to be in hours. So we've got some seconds here, and we can change it to minutes by doing 2 divided by 60. And then we can change that then into hours by dividing by 60 again. So that's going to give us 0.0, so that's going to give us 0.0005 recurring. And if we type all that into a calculator, I mean, personally, I'd be doing 70 times answer because we've just worked this part out. We would get 0.038 recurring, and that's going to be miles, of course, because the speed was in miles per hour. Now, how do we change this to metres? Well, it gives us the wee conversion over here. 1 mile is 1,609.34 metres. So we can multiply this figure by 1,609.34. That gives us an answer of 62.6 metres. And that's just during looking at your phone for 2 seconds. Guys, don't do it. Well, obviously you can't do it because you can't drive yet, but make sure nobody at home does it because it can have really potentially fatal consequences. There we have it, folks, our work solutions for this week. We hope you enjoyed solving these problems. Stay tuned for next week's edition when we're going to be looking at more stories from the news of the week and the numbers behind them. But in the meantime, thanks for watching and bye for now.